Shocking details have emerged about the death of a 20-year-old woman in the national capital who was hit by a car and then dragged under it for almost 13 kilometers on New Year's Eve. The woman was returning home on her scooty when 5 young men in a Baleno hit her and then dragged her for many kilometers, taking many U-turns, her body almost totally broken. An eyewitness who runs a store on the road where this happened saw the car taking 3 U-turns in front of him. He says he chased the car for a while and made several calls to the police. The car actually passed through 4 police station areas in Delhi, which means that there should have been around 20 to 25 police patrol vans or PCR vans in the area. But nobody acted for 13 kilometers. Police say that the accused, who are now in their custody for 3 days, have told them that they were drunk and that the music in the car was very loud, which is why they couldn't realize or understand that their body was being dragged under their car. Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal today called the incident shameful. Meanwhile, protests also broke out. Local residents protested today in the capital. There was also an Aam Aadmi Party protest outside the Delhi LG's office as well. Well, joining us on the program for more on that big story from the national capital, Priyanka Kakkar, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, Ranbir Singh Patania from the BJP, and Mr. L.N. Rao, former Deputy Commissioner of Police with the Delhi Police. Thank you very much for all of you for being with us. Mr. Rao, I wanted to ask you first, it's quite shocking, A, that this has happened in the national capital, but that this car dragged this woman's body for almost 13 kilometers, passing through what potentially could have been some 25 police vans, and nobody saw anything. The police acted so late.
Yes, Nidhi, I do agree with you what you are saying. It was the eve of New Year, and then there were arrangements that the police claimed that there were huge arrangements, 3-tier arrangements, local police as well as police control room went, and the traffic police also, they were on the roads to check the hooligans at that time. But in that area, I don't think that the police presence was so much there as it is witnessed by the eyewitnesses. And this shocking incident, which is really shocked not only in Delhi only, that's shocked all over our country. Because only earning member of a family has been killed like in such a manner, brutal manner you can say. And in that case, initially the police reacted in a very casual manner, I think so. That should have been avoided. Without any evidence, the allegations that only believing the version of the persons. One thing I will appreciate for the police, because after getting the number of the vehicle, they traced all the 5 persons immediately and they rounded up them. But after that, I think what happened to the police, that they only believed what these people said. That it's quite unbelievable that if something is taken against a vehicle, and the driver and the inmates of that car do not know what has happened. And definitely it's a head-on collision stated to be the accident that Scooty hit that Baleno car.
But I think there needs to be greater accountability, sir, you know, from the police. And I come to this point again because A, the eyewitness also says that he made several calls to the police.
Yes.
The body gets dragged under the car for more than an hour. You have the police holding this grand press conference, you know, before New Year's Eve, saying that we have done X, Y, Z arrangement. Everything is going to be very safe. There are so many checkpoints. There's this, there's that. And then something like this happens. I can tell you that as a woman who lives in Delhi, I don't feel safe. Where is the accountability in the police, sir?
Yes. Yes, I agree with you. I'm coming to that only. After all these things, that nobody can believe the story of the persons who are involved in that, and the police presence, that is also questionable, because the eyewitnesses say that the police was at the speed of 20 kilometers per hour and they were roaming in that area, and that they took 3 U-turns, and the police was informed well in time, but response of police control room vehicles, I don't think why it is so, because in earlier years there has been distress call response to by the police control room vehicles were 2 to 3 minutes. When somebody calls the police, then maximum 3 minutes was the response time to the PCR vehicle to the caller. But in this case, I don't think that more than half an hour or so, maybe 40 minutes took by the PCR reaching at the spot. And even the constable who was informed by the eyewitness that such thing had happened and suspicious thing was informed to the police. And then he was also very reluctant to react on the situation, especially in the night time when something unusual happens. The police should have taken a very serious view and then strictly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But the point is, Ranveer
Not
Singh
on that
Pathania,
side.
when the Nirbhaya gang rape happened in Delhi, there were justifiably angry protests against Sheila Dikshit's government, against the centre. At that time, we know that the Delhi police comes under the Home Ministry of India. It doesn't come under the Delhi government. So today, may I ask you that should the centre not take responsibility for this, and heads should they not roll in the police for this dereliction?
Nidhi, first of all, my heart goes out to the helpless victim. And the story played by the section of media, electronic as well as print. This is height of insensitivity. This is virtually an inhuman, but we should not hesitate in saying it's an inhuman and rightly an out of vogue, out of sync and out of mind. An aberration by a few individuals who were so boozed, who were so fumed up by that New Year party. No, so far as the responsibility part is concerned, I think a detailed statement and a detailed inquiry will come out. And no guilty, let us be very clear and categoric, not even no guilty would be and should be spared. But the larger point remains that the society as a whole and the system as a whole, we should put our heads together without pointing fingers at each other, without trying to pick holes with the system. I am of the opinion, I may be incorrect also, that the response, the proactivity, the public friendliness of Delhi police is more as compared to any of the police in the entire country. But this is a case which needs to be...
Mr. Pathania, wouldn't you say that there needs to be action taken? That heads need to roll for this, there needs to be accountability?
I'm of the considered view, this is my view, that strongest action, and let there be a fact-finding inquiry, let there be a fact-finding in-house, what we say, a fixing of responsibilities, who erred, how erred, and in what manner did he err, and what best could, in this case, should serve as an exemplary, exemplary action, exemplary inquiry, exemplary action, and it should sound as an alarm bell to further such cases by such a ruthless car drivers, ruthless who place such long drives on such New Year and all that, Christmas Eve and all that. There should be an exemplary action. And above all, I'm of the view that we need to come out of all that, and we need to put our heads together and see to it how the system, how the society, how the police, and we all are able to strike out a workable, practicable solution for it in times to come.
So it's appreciative that you're calling for action and exemplary action to be taken. Even against those police who ended up in a sense not doing their job that night. Priyanka Kakkar, how would you respond to that? The Aam Aadmi Party held protests today on this issue. There were angry residents on this as well. I think what's particularly disturbing is it would be disturbing anywhere that it happened, but this was the national capital of this country, and women's safety has become such an issue that's front and center now in our political discourse as well, and yet something like this happens.
Nidhi, good evening to everyone. It is very unfortunate that this, this tragedy that has unfolded, the kind of pain that woman would have suffered. And since Mr. Pathania was talking about putting everyone's heads together, they should have an internal meeting and ask themselves, why do they have all the criminals in their party? Why are all जो भी संरक्षण मिलता है किसी भी गैंगस्टर को, क्रिमिनल को, वो इनकी पार्टी में क्यों मिलता है? It is a repeated pattern, and even this time I don't know why he's smiling. It annoys me. It annoys me when he smiles on issues like this. Even during Morbi, he was doing the same thing. Now the issue is that please, Mr. Pathania, I'm coming to the pickup. Let me. I did not interrupt. Then don't smile.
I'm amused at the way you are saying.
It's a serious issue to you. There was an acid attack in Delhi a few days ago. Oh my God. Let me speak. The police that comes under your LG and your home ministry. Let me speak. Don't be scared. The police that comes under you, sir, what have they done there was an acid attack recently on Delhi roads. Now you see this incident unfolding. How has the situation in Delhi improved for women, sir? It's getting from back to worse. Every day we hear of stories. You know, the LG seen in Delhi only on 2 occasions. One, when he has to take the credit for Aam Aadmi Party's work, and 2, when he has to obstruct our work. He should really be seen. How many meetings have you taken of the 209 police thanas that are in Delhi? Tell me one meeting that you took in the past 8 years. Not one. What have you done to improve the situation of law and order in Delhi? That falls under you directly, no? You are always in election mode. Where is your governance mode? Tell me, what have you done, sir? Tell me one thing that you've done for the Delhi police or the improvement
Let
of the
Mr.
situation in
Pathania
Delhi.
answer that, Priyanka Kakkar.
Nidhi, one more thing let me ask. Let me also tell you. Now in the morning, you know, the police which comes under the LG, they come out with 2 absurd statements. One, they rule out sexual assault without a post-mortem report. 2, they buy the version of the accused that the music was loud. Can you imagine this illogical argument that a human body is stuck under your vehicle for 14 kilometers and the music was loud? No matter how drunk you are, Nidhi, there are 5 people sitting in the vehicle and the vehicle is going to feel the jitters. It is impossible not to. So these are the kind of absurd support that they show to the accused because their own are involved. You go to Hathras, their own is involved. You go to Unnao, their own is involved. You come here to Delhi, their own is involved. That is why they do nothing.
Mr. Pathania, do you want to answer that?
My very, very respectful submission that first of all, a post-mortem report is not a condition sine qua non for confirming sexual assault or not. For that, the 2-finger test, another test, the London Police Commissioner is here. That's not the case.
Wow.
My respectful submission remains that we should not indulge.
Do you know the 2-finger test has been prohibited by the Supreme Court?
Priyanka, let him finish. Let him finish, and then I'll come back to you.
He is lying.
Oh, madam, what you are saying?
One second.
Is there a post-mortem test for sexual assault?
Do you know, sir? 2-finger test has been banned by the Supreme Court.
What you are saying?
Do you
There
know?
need to be
I just want to set the record straight that the police have said the post-mortem will determine whether she was sexually assaulted or not. So let's just move on from that point. Mr. Pathania,
My point.
the point is about safety. About safety and women's safety in the national capital, the police comes under the LG Home Ministry. So therefore, what is the BJP going to do about it?
With due respect, democracies cannot function like it unless we keep on slinging muds on each other. We need to be constructive. We sit across the table. We need to indulge in a positive and a constructive debate. Please don't get agitated. I know you might be sending this video to Mr. Arvind Kejriwal ji. Please allow me to speak.
My respectful submission. Politics. Now you want to talk on an issue that comes under you?
This is not the subject, madam. This is not the subject. Why do you deviate from it? Why do you deviate from the subject?
This is how you deal with accused, no? This is how you dealt with.
One second, Priyanka Kakkar, just let him finish, please. Let him just finish his point. Mr. Pathania, I think the point is, rightly so, that the Delhi government and the central government got a lot of flack from the opposition during Nirbhaya. Women's safety became a big issue after that in Delhi. Today, why should you not take responsibility for this and answer everyone's questions on this incident and how this happened?
Maybe I started that road safety is the sum and substance of the number of freedoms enjoyed by each and every individual. There is a case, and there are an increasing number of cases that on Christmas, on New Year, on birthday parties, on marriage parties, a group of frenzy young men, they indulge in fast driving, rash and negligent driving, then they cause loss to the life and limbs of the people. This is a serious issue. I think we need to strike out a workable. Police have been working. Police have detectors to detect whether they are not boozed or not, whether what is the they have investigative and we could say improvised devices to check the speed of the vehicle, but all these systems fail. And how do we need to have a foolproof system and a mechanism to prevent such incidents in future? This is
you probably will never have anything that's foolproof to prevent them, but I think the point is that the police need to react when something is happening. This happened under their nose. Quickly, Priyanka Kakkar, I just have a minute left. The point is this happened under the nose of the police.
Nidhi, it's very important I make this point because
one moment, Mr. Pathania, one moment. Yeah.
It's very important to prevent any further injustice in the state and the country. I must tell you, Mr. Pathania has given a very wrong information which should be corrected so that the police does not follow it. The two-finger test has been completely banned by the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has said any police officer indulging in it will be punished. So let those misinformation be corrected, because Mr. Pathania to yahan smile karke baith ke bol ke chale jayenge.
Madam Priyanka ji, you have used the word
misinformation.
You have used the word ban.
Misinformation.
You have used the word ban.
Misinformation. आपको पता नहीं नीचे क्या होता है फिर. आप
Please improve your legal sense, madam.
Please don't tell me.
You have used the word ban. Ban two-finger test. What are you saying? Let it be taken on record. Please don't indulge in such politics.
All right.
This is the problem.
I think the point is we're not getting any constructive answers on this incident and what should happen. Mr. Rao, I'll give you the last word. What should be the course of action in this, Mr. Rao?
We should avoid this political tutu meme on this issue. It's a very serious issue. Firstly, we should concentrate our mind that the investigation should be done very fairly, thorough manner. All possible investigation evidences should be collected, whether it's oral or primary evidence or scientific evidence. Everything should be collected, and the case should be tightly investigated, and every investigation evidence is to be collected and sent to the court as soon as possible. And the trial should be by a special judge, so that the culprits don't find any time to get any bail, and they should be punished as per law of our land. That should be the lesson to the others also, because as soon as the speedy trial and speedy justice is given in such type of serious and heinous cases, the others will not learn how to behave in a society. This is a case of being civilized society we are living, and in the civilized society, when something like this happens, our foremost duty is to send this injured to the nearest hospital. That is the most important aspect of our social and personal life. We should adhere to that, and the rest of the things are legal or illegal are something else. So we should know the value of a precious life which has been lost.
I think the point that you make about speedy justice is very important, because more than anything else, that maybe that would be a deterrent, because nothing else seems to have worked. Very disturbing story out of the national capital, but I have to leave it at there for the moment. Thank you.